Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am the Garden and Worm Lady, and my name is V for those of you that are new here. And this is a tub with red wigglers, Louisiana swamp worms, and now I'm going to introduce another type of worm in here. So I'm going to have 3 different types of worms in here, or 4. So last year, I believe, and the year before, I had this tub and I called it the Woodstock because even though I had 4 different species of worms in here, I had no problems and they all lived in harmony. So we're going to do that again. We're bringing back the Woodstock. So see, these are Louisiana swamp worms. Let me see if I could bring you in closer. I'm glad you guys liked the video with the sifter. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love it. I really do. Like, I'm very impressed with it. I'm very happy. And it's tabletop. So for those of you that can't like bend or get on the floor, if you have it on the floor, it's an option. So the bedding I have here is peat moss. No, it's coconut coir. I do want to add some oyster shell for grit. We're going to feed them some food from my kitchen. But right now, I'm just fluffing it up. So did you guys like the uncut version? I had people message me and told me they really like it. It kind of shows that I'm a real person. And you know, even though things look nice and, you know, sometimes you think videos on YouTube are fake or not, it just shows that I'm a real person and things do happen. So it's not always perfect in here. So this is red wigglers, Louisiana swamp worms. Let me get some oyster shell for them to give them some grit. You know, oyster shell it's like little rocks like this. At least that's how I buy it. Now I can grind this into a powder, but honestly, I put it like this in the past and they do the same thing. It'll just take longer to dissolve or disappear, and that's okay. It still breaks up. They still use it. It's fine. So if you don't have a little grinder, or you know, you don't have to grind this, is what I'm saying. Some people use a spice grinder, and that's okay. So I'm just gonna mix them in, and let's get them going. So Woodstock is back. I'm going to insert a picture here of the biggest African nightcrawler I personally have grown. And you're going to be impressed, I feel. All right, let me get the worms. All right, now I don't have many. We're going to just start out with a couple. But look how nice they are. They're a nice size, right? Look at them. Nice size worm. So we're just gonna place them here. They'll do their thing. And then we're gonna get the African nightcrawlers. All right, so I'm just gonna bring you with me. So when I'm gonna put worms in another bin like this, this is what I do. I put some food, whatever it is, and I kind of bait them. Because down here, since they're like really loving this, I could like just grab them, go like that, and I go like this. See, that's a nice amount. Plus this bedding that they're in will have cocoons and all the microbes. So I'm just going to give them this back since they've finally discovered it. My gosh, they are a piece of work. I love them though. So let's go like that. All right, so there are the Europeans, and I'm going to take the African nightcrawlers and just put it on top like this. They're nice looking worms. So now I have 4 different species in here. I have red wigglers, European nightcrawlers, African nightcrawlers, and Louisiana swamp worms. And there are no blue worms in here. All right, I left you with a little quick time lapse. These time lapses are very fast. So sometimes you'll get like a brrr, and then it's gone. But I could see that they're already going down. So I'm going to give them some warm chow. And then we're going to cover them. And then we're going to check on them. Probably tomorrow or the next day. So if you haven't pressed that subscribe button yet, do so. And I'll continue to bring more content for you. Well, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I put blue in my hair. Look. I love it. I just like trying different things, you know? So I want to show you something before we go inside to take care of the worms. So I had someone send me a gift and it's so cool. So it's called the Wonderful Wacky Worm of Red Wiggler Worms. And I'm gonna see if I could turn the camera around so the words don't look backwards for you. So let's do that. I want to show this to you. All right, look at the book this author sent me. It's by Susan O'Donnell, and it's a book for kids about red wigglers. And the illustrator is Jacqueline Judge. But look how beautiful this book is, and she signed that. Oh, I love that. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. Look at how gorgeous this is. So I want to thank her for sending this to me. And this is her. And she included a really nice card and a note, which, you know, I'm not going to read to you because it's kind of private. At least for me. But anyway, this is her card. And on her website, I noticed that she has castings and she has a kit for kids that comes with like 100 little red wigglers. So this is her card. But anyway, I want to say thank you so much for sending this to me. I was really surprised when I received it. So if you guys are interested in this book, I put it in my Amazon store, but I will also put the link down below so you guys could go support her. I will be sending this book to my grandchildren that live in another state. So, and I'm sure they are gonna love it because when they were here for Christmas, they definitely saw my worms and touched them and played with them and did everything. So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, you know, every once in a blue moon, I'll have someone will send me a gift. And I love surprises, except in books. I'm the type that reads like the last page and then I'll go back and read the whole book. I know it's weird, but you know, you all know me. So, but you know, I haven't done that lately. I'm reading a book called Pumpkin Spice and Poltergeist. It's like a romance, but not scary, but it has to do with like ghostly things. And it's like a town, and everyone in the town is like, the baker is like a vampire, and they're all different things. And you know, I love gothic stuff, so I've been doing that. But anyway, I'm gonna have a snack as an apple, and then the rest of course will go in my worms. So I did go to the doctor again. I'm still pre-diabetic, but I'm on the border, so I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna continue eating healthy. I'm not gonna go back to my previous lifestyle of, you know, sugary coffees and fast food. So I'm just, you know, constantly thinking about that was like giving me anxiety. So I'm just gonna forget it. That's, you know, that's what my dad did. That's what my mom did. So I'm just gonna forget it, and I'm gonna keep just eating healthy and just doing my thing. But other than that, he says I'm doing great. So, and my knee is progressing, even though it does hurt a little bit today. But you know, I learned to listen to my body, and when it hurts, I sit down for a while, I'll put ice on it. Joe and I will watch a movie, or you know, something like that. But anyway, today it's gonna be like 74 here in southern Indiana, and it is absolutely beautiful out. So I did get to plant beetroot and some other veggies, and of course I put blue dye in my hair, but it's temporary. It'll wash out eventually. So eventually I want to get back to my black hair. I love the silver hair, I do, but it was just, I don't know. I'm just not ready for it. I'd rather have other colors too, you know. If I could do pink or something like that. But blue is okay for now for me. So anyway, I'm gonna have this apple. I just went grocery shopping for the first time in a long time. For like a year and a half, because of my knee, I've been having my groceries delivered. But now I'm venturing out again. And today I went grocery shopping and I just went slow and just did my thing, and it was all good. It was all good. So if you're here to learn about worm farming and composting and gardening in a positive light, press that subscribe button. Most days I'm doing okay. I do laugh a lot. I do have a lot of bloopers. Well, okay, some most of the time, but not always. It's just part of my personality. I can't help it. And newsoilcastings.com, like Bobby, I love him. He's so nice. And someone had complained to him about wearing a dirty shirt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the stuff I have worn. Like, you all have seen some of the shirts that I wear that have giant holes in them, and it's because, you know, I'm not gonna wear my pretty clothes to come work in the wormery. It's messy, guys. I've had castings like just fall on me and the liquid just spray on me. There's no way I'm wearing my nice clothes to do that. So anyway, Bobby, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. Stay towards the positive light. So anyway, what else did I want to tell you all? I think that's it. Look how cool this knife is. It's a camouflage knife. Oh, I'm getting all my camping equipment ready to go to a new area to hunt for Bigfoot. And I'm going to go in a tent. And I did get a 0 degree sleeping bag so that at night I'm not cold. Because believe it or not, even in the summer, sometimes I get a little chilly. So with 0 degrees, I think I'll be fine. So anyway, that's what's going on. I'm going to have a snack. I have some frozen fruits and banana peels and things like that we're going to give the worms. And I am expecting a shipment of worms to come in. I thought they were coming in today, but there's a little delay. But the weather's okay, so I'm not worried about them. And I think they're going to get here tomorrow. So I wanted to film that for you. But that'll have to be in the next video. So anyway, hope you guys are doing awesome. And go find my other worm channel. I'll link it down below. Support me there. And if you love TikTok, I do like a bunch of stuff on TikTok. Like I'll show my worms, my hermit crabs, nature, just everything else I do. So anyway, I'll see you guys there. And let's go. You know, I laugh a lot, and someone asked me one time if I was high, and I'm like, at a wedding, and I'm like, no, I don't do drugs of any kind. This is just me. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, okay. I just thought that was funny. I don't know. I want to share that with you. Anyway, let's get to started. All right, guys. I'm not going to bother to put gloves on. So this is the Woodstock tub. This is where I have 4 species of worms living together. Red wigglers, European nightcrawlers, African nightcrawlers, and Louisiana swamp worms. I've done this before, so we're going to check them and see how they are doing. Ooh, look at them over here. These are some nice European nightcrawlers. I'm going to fluff this up a little bit. This was a banana I gave them. Oh, look at that. It's so juicy. Look at the clitellum on that. Or clitellum. They're doing very well. So I've done this before just to see if I have one species of worm that like overpowers the other. And in this bin, honestly, there's been like an even balance. In the past, I have done it to where the European nightcrawlers overtook the red wigglers. So that means that there were more European nightcrawlers in here than red wigglers. And then I've done it other times where it's been the opposite. So, you know, I don't know. Nature is nature. It's going to do what it wants, and you're not stopping it. So see, we got a young African nightcrawler here. So I hope you guys thought that book was so cute. If you want to support her, I think it's important to get the education out to kids, you know, because the kids are our future, and if they're not going to raise worms, then we're in trouble. So there aren't many worms in here. I'm going to add them as I get more, but let's just give them some fresh food. Why is this so dark? Let me see if I could change the angle of this to get more light in here. Yeah, I definitely need more light in this setup. Hope you don't mind me like just going in the front like this. That's better. Hope you can see better, guys. So let me get food for them. So we're gonna give them a banana and the apple I was eating with the peels. I try to eat organic fruit, not only for myself, but also for them. Not that it makes a difference. You don't have to feed your worms organic, but if I'm going to eat organic fruit, you know, they're going to benefit from it also. And we're just going to bury this. So Woodstock is doing great. And I am going to give them a little chow over here, just to help them get going, you know. Go like that. So we're going to cover them again. And then we're going to move on to the Louisiana swamp worms. And we're going to give them some food too. So let's go over there. All right. Let's visit my favorite babies. These are the Louisiana swamp worms. Tell me how you like the quality of this, because I switched it to 4K. Oh my gosh, there's so many. It's unbelievable. Look at this. Oh, I love them. Oh, these are just my favorite. Look at that little guy right there. You know, worm composting is just amazing. Look at them. They're doing great. They are really blooming in this bin. They love leaf litter. Oh, wow. So remember the corn? It's just part of it. They've basically eaten. Oh, look at that little one in there. How cute. You know, some people say the worms nest in these things. You know, I don't know if that's true or not, but I do tend to sometimes see babies more in these little pods of corn. So maybe it is true, maybe it's not. I don't know. I think they just like to go there, honestly, because of the sweetness. But I do tend to see young ones. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look, this is a cocoon I found in the corn. So you see that? That's a cocoon. And that was just laid because, see how light it is? As cocoons hatch or get ready to hatch, they turn really dark. So sometimes they're very hard to spot in your bin. Sometimes you'll think that Oh, my worms are not reproducing. There's no cocoons. There's nothing. And you'd be surprised that they're there and you just don't see them. And then one day you come in and there's a million little babies. And then you realize, yeah, there were cocoons. I just didn't see them. So we're just fluffing them up, giving some oxygen. They love the leaf litter. They are going to love the fruit that I'm going to give them. And the Woodstock bin, you know, in time, it'll build up. They just need time to reproduce and do their thing. So let's see. So I have a trivia question for you. Do you guys know how often in a rotating system like the one I have on the wall, I sift out cocoons? Tell me down below what you think. And then in the pinned comment, I'll put the answer. Or I'll just go ahead and tell you. Every 21 days, I can sift out cocoons. Now, the cocoons will be there if the worms like their bedding, they like their environment, so they'll lay cocoons. If they don't like their bedding and environment, they're not going to reproduce, and sometimes they'll even run for the hills. But, you know, it has taken me years to learn how to do this, and I've had lots of ups and downs. Look how cute they are. So let's give them some food. And then I want to harvest some leaf litter. So let's see what I got for them. I have some... All right. I have some frozen cantaloupe. Now, as I told you guys before, I would never give the African nightcrawlers frozen cantaloupe like this, or basically frozen anything, because they don't like the cold. They are very cold sensitive, but these guys, they do all right. I've never seen a problem. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to cover it. And in a few hours, that'll be defrosted. I do like to give them a little bit of worm chow over here, maybe over here, just to help them out until that stuff starts to break down. So we're going to cover them back up. And then we're going to check the African night crawlers. And then tomorrow, when the worms I have coming arrive, then I'll set those up. Who knows, maybe I'll come back tomorrow and film again. You know, I don't know why. This bin always seems to me like a hot mess. I don't know why. It just seems that way to me. But it's probably because the cardboard doesn't stay as wet as I want it. Because I'm right under the vent here. But I have no choice. This is like the only spot that I could have them, so... It is what it is, and they don't seem to be bothered. I think it bugs me more than anything. But anyway. So look at these guys. Look how picky they are. I put that banana in here days ago. And I see one worm here. Look. Oh my gosh, they're all... I have to bring you here. This is the African nightcrawler. As mysterious as they are, they've decided to leave the banana and go for the sweet potato. Finally, look at this. They're all in here. Look at the luminescence color. I've wanted you guys to see that. Look how beautiful they are. Oh, that is stunning. That is the African nightcrawler. That's how you know it has that. Oh my gosh. Look at them. They decided This is a giant worm ball, if I were to say worm ball. Wow. Look at they look like they're glowing. They look like they are glowing in the dark, but that's the luminescence that the African nightcrawler has. Oh, nature's just incredible, isn't it? So since they're all under this sweet potato, let's see if they're over here. Oh my gosh, they're finally devouring these sweet potatoes. And you know what, guys? There's absolutely no odor. All sizes, too. I see young ones, older ones. I can tell by the size, you know. Obviously, the younger they are, the smaller they are. They're going to be really annoyed that I'm messing with them. That's all right. Let's see this one over here. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. So they finally, I mean, how long ago did I put these sweet potatoes in here? Like what? A month? Look at the young one. All right, guys, I'm so proud of you. That is gorgeous. Oh, you're going to be impressed. I cannot wait for you to see this video. So let's put them back here where they were. By the way, guys, in between worms, I go and wash my hands thoroughly, including like under my nails, because you don't want to carry a cocoon into another bin if you want to keep them like, you know, pure. If you don't care, then don't bother, but if you want to keep them, only African nightcrawlers in here. Wash your hands in between. So let's check and see if there's any over here. Only a few. They seem like they are over there. But I do have some food for them. Wow, that was amazing. You see, that made my day. Now let's see if they're going to stay over here or they're going to come and check out the new food I'm giving them. And my guess is that they will eventually. Just like the other one. These are some cucumbers that were just a little past their date there for my taste. And what's in here? Let's see. Sometimes I don't know. I just grab these things and freeze them. All right, so we're going to cover that up. And we're going to let them do their thing. So this I'm going to give them to the other worms. Okay. So what do you think? That was impressive, wasn't it? I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh. That excites me. See, I'm not hard to please. You give me a mountain of worms and I'm set. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will keep you guys updated. Don't forget to press that subscribe button. Follow my other worm channel. I'll link it below. And I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.